solution is a fantasy, but that is exactly what I am telling you. As a world...
Where's your sidekick, Taggart? 6 months ago, Seraph Industries was attacked by mercenaries whose objective was to cripple our research. But I've learned the attack was just a smokescreen. Megan Reed's team was kidnapped, and Isaias Sandoval, your personal aide, was involved.
That is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Mr. Jensen's intrusion, and I assure you that these accusations are without basis.
Are they?
This is Sandoval. Why are you calling me here?
There's been a change of plans. Seraph's team must not make it to the hearing.
But that's too soon. If you want me to remove the GPLs, I'll need a full operating suite. Does the facility have one?
That's your man, Taggart. Talking about removing implanted GPL devices so that the people who took Seraph scientists could cover it up.
I see what's going on here. Seraph Industries has received 2 black eyes in the last few days. The first, due to the shocking news coming out of Montreal that biotech companies are secretly participating in unethical super soldier experiments. And the second, as a result of their violent escalation of today's peaceful protest. David Seraph and his corporate bedfellows are desperate and in imminent danger of losing the regulation vote, so this man has been sent here to attack my reputation.
I'm right here, Taggart. Look at me. I admit, I wouldn't feel bad if your reputation was damaged in front of the press, since you've been doing the same to my colleagues for years, but that's not why I'm here. Seraph scientists are alive, and it's time for the truth to come out.
The truth, Mr. Jensen, is that this recording of yours proves nothing. It could have been made by anyone in the world with a grudge against Humanity Front, and you are our prime suspect.
You got a lot of nerve to accuse me of lying. I'm not the one standing in front of a crowd of people hiding my involvement in kidnapping and murder.
My involvement, Mr. Jensen? Your recording doesn't prove that. My heart goes out to you. Perhaps it's best that you came to me rather than bringing this recording to the police. You need it to be some kind of proof because you're still suffering. You're trying to find someone else to blame for the emotional trauma you experienced when you woke up from that surgery and discovered you were no longer quite human. If you play that recording for the police, at best, they'll dismiss it. At worst, they'll tell you to seek counseling. So, why are you really here? We all know you suffered a terrible tragedy in the attack on Seraph Industries. Why can't you put it behind you? Go play your recording for the police and see whether they agree with me. Undoubtedly, they will tell you the same thing I am. You're stuck in the past. You're obsessed with your forced transformation into a mechanically assisted person, but you had better find a way to put it behind you, and soon. Take your recording to the police. They will tell you it doesn't prove anything. You choose to believe otherwise because you yourself were caught off guard in that attack 6 months ago. Obviously, you have unresolved issues. What's it going to take for you to get over them and move on? I know why you came here instead of taking your recording to the police. I know the real reason for your accusations, and you're not entirely to blame for what you're doing. It is common, after trauma such as the one you suffered, to fixate on the event, to stay blocked in the past. In a word, you're obsessed. If you're so certain of your evidence, I encourage you to take it to the police instead of coming here and besmirching the reputations of me and my people. We know what your real problem is. You want to blame someone for your transformation from a full and capable human to someone reliant upon mechanical assistance. What is it you're truly looking for here? Absolution? A return to the feeling of control you lost when your limbs were taken from you? Do you think coming here today and casting me as your enemy will help you achieve that? If you could see your situation clearly, you would realize you're being driven by your losses. Your actions are motivated by an attempt to regain a sense of control at my expense. You're turning me into your enemy when I'm not. What do you expect to gain here today, Mr. Jensen? Were you hoping that confronting me publicly like this would somehow restore your sense of control and enable you to look at yourself in the mirror again? As you know, I was a practicing psychologist before I devoted my life to ending the threat of augmentation. And I've seen this kind of behavior before. You're confused. You consider me your enemy, and you think the only way you can regain control is to defeat me in some way. You're wrong, I'm afraid. I saw this posture of yours countless times in my private practice. You're lost. You have no direction, and you have no idea how to get it back. So, in your mind, you've made me the ultimate enemy, imagining that if you knock me down, you'll get control of your life again. You're fooling yourself. You're lashing out. You've cast me as your enemy, and you're hoping that by falsely accusing me, by diminishing me, you'll regain the sense of control you lost when someone else ripped your life apart 6 months ago. When I founded Humanity Front, I dedicated the organization to the memory of my wife Marjorie, who died trying to help a man addicted to augmentation surgery come to terms with his illness. Marjorie refused to resort to violence. So why would any member of this group do otherwise? We are simply not those kind of people. I wish I could make you see that, but I fear you are unable to comprehend nonviolent solutions. My life has been an open book since I created Humanity Front. I could have sought the death penalty after an augmentation addict murdered my wife, but I didn't. Because I am passionately opposed to violence, as is every member of Humanity Front. I say again, every member. Your claim to the contrary is a lie. I founded Humanity Front to make biotech companies like yours stop tampering with human bodies without fully understanding the effects on the human psyche. My wife Marjorie died because people underestimated that connection. From the beginning, we have always promoted nonviolent conflict resolution, and there's never been any evidence suggesting otherwise. This is not satisfactory for you, Mr. Jensen, because it means you have no way of pulling us down. I founded Humanity Front to prevent others from suffering the way I suffered after an augmentation addict murdered my wife. I did it to reduce the amount of violence in this world, but you cannot understand such an approach. That's why you falsely claim my people are involved in terrorist acts. You're mistaken and you're lying. From the very day I founded Humanity Front, I made it clear that the group would be devoted to non-violent resistance. To deviate from this would mean dishonoring the memory of the very woman whose murder caused me to found the organization. Mr. Jensen, how can you possibly accuse me of doing otherwise? Look at every speech I have ever given. Every piece of documentation available, all of them clearly indicate the same thing. Humanity Front is committed to nonviolence. Anything less would dishonor the memory of my wife, whose murder was the direct result of augmentation addiction. Who are you to suggest otherwise?
Who's the one showing disrespect to your wife's memory right now? You chose to be responsible for everyone underneath you the day you chose to be the boss. Sandoval launched an attack on Seraph Industries, and you're hiding him from me? You're no better than he is.
You impertinent son of a... Mr. Jensen, if you knew Isaias Sandoval as well as I do, if you knew the core of his being, in spite of his family history, you too might fight tooth and nail to defend him as I have. But you're right. If he has done something regrettable, then the truth needs to come out, whatever it may be. I'll show you where Isaias is. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but I'm going to have to beg your indulgence for a few moments more. If you will all please remain patient, I will return as soon as I can. Thank you. Mr. Jensen. I'll see you backstage.